Okay, I'm going to show you a trick that the garment industry uses, which is block fusing. We're going to take, let's say, our cuff, our top collar, our under collar, our pocket, and our placket down the front. And we're going to say it needs to have this much fabric folded in half in order to make the interface, all the pieces for the interfacing. But what the industry will do first is that they'll take the same amount of interfacing and fuse it to that amount of fabric. So and that's called block fusing, so that when they're cutting the garment pieces and the interfacing pieces all at once, and they do not get a twist of the fabric. And I know that some of you have had trouble in lining up your interfacing with your fabric. Well, this is an automatic lineup. So when the industry is ready to cut this, they will take their block fused piece and back it with craft paper. You can use paper from the newspaper print. You can use craft paper, party paper. You can use doctor's paper that use for the exam table. But here we have, as long as you have a good paper, the tissue paper will not work. It's a little too light. But once you line up your fabric and your grain and everything, then you're able to lay your pieces down. And you can use a rotary cutter from then on, but you have to pin your pieces through the pattern, the fabric, and the paper, and then cut them out or use the rotary cutter. But you will end up finding out you'll never get any slip or slide. Another example of that is when you're doing lining fabric. You've seen lining fabric shift. The industry would never allow anybody to cut without paper underneath and make sure that it's cut so that it does not shift at all. You cannot have any shifting pattern pieces because it makes your garment fit incorrect. Another way to press if you don't have a steam generated iron is that you would have your pattern piece, de-interfacing, and then a pressing cloth. Then you can put your iron on a good steam. In order to melt your glue on your fabric, you must have a hot steam iron. That's why I still suggest a steam generated iron. Ask one, if you don't have one, ask to get one for Christmas. So the steam generated iron allows the glue on the other side to melt. And some customers of mine will say, but I don't like press-on because it peels back off. You're the problem, because you end up saying you want the glue to melt, but you're too afraid to let it sit there. Well, pressing cloth will allow it to sit and not distort your interfacing or your garment piece. But you need the pressing cloth. If you have the steam generated iron, you get to skip that. So you need to have plenty of steam and heat on it to melt the glue. If it peels back off, you did not put enough heat, steam, and pressure on it. Thank you very much for listening to the demo. Again, our interfacings are on our website, which is www.fashionpatterns.com. Thank you.